There are three main things that I usually notice when I see an Etsy store just isn't growing. And usually the Etsy store owner is following some very surface level advice, which is model a bestseller and just keep listing. And while that advice does have its place on the Etsy platform, there is so much more to it than that. Today we're going to dive into the three main things that I notice in Etsy stores that just aren't growing, and then we're going to get into some practical application of that advice. Hey guys, Angie here, and I have been selling online full-time since 2010, 100% self-employed, and since 2019, my main focus has been solely selling on Etsy. And my goal with this channel is to share some of the things that I have learned along the way that may help you in your business as well. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a big like, and let's go ahead and get into the content. So the three main reasons that I usually see for stores not growing is number one, not enough listings. Now, the number of listings is also going to be relative to the quality of the listings. For example, I have some people in my group that only have 30 listings but are already crushing it with sales. And I also have people that have over 300 listings that are just now getting their very first sale. So if you don't have much experience with design or researching for Etsy products, it may take you more listings to get in the flow to actually see what works. And that may just come down to that you didn't find the right niche to jump into that isn't super competitive. But usually the more you list, the better that you get at every single aspect of this business, and therefore you will start making more sales with more listings. The second reason is maybe your designs just aren't good whatsoever. They look amateur, and that's because you're brand new to using Canva or doing any kind of designs. And the good news is that that just comes from habit and repetition. So the more that you do it, the better you're going to get. And number three is usually the case with most people, and that is they're just following the advice of model a bestseller and keep listing, right? So they're looking at bestsellers and they're ending up looking just like them. And the keywords that they choose when they go to the page, literally there's already hundreds of other listings that look exactly like what they're trying to do, and therefore they're most likely not going to get the click because there's already a sea of other listings to choose from. So how we combat that is finding keywords where when you type that keyword into the Etsy search, there's maybe only one other store doing what you want to do, and you can make your listing look completely different than theirs so that you get the click, or the customer choosing to come over to your store. So let's go ahead and take a look at this over on Etsy, and then we're going to do some keyword research together using Sales Samurai and view that research on Etsy as well. Okay, so we are over on Etsy, and as an example, I have typed in first grade teacher shirt. And as we can see, this first page is filled with first grade teacher shirts, and there's a wide variety of fonts, colors, designs. There are so many that if you were to just pick one of these as a bestseller and model it and jump in here with all of these other t-shirt sellers, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to actually get the click because there is so much going on here. Now, what I like to do when I'm doing my research is to find a keyword that when I go to the first page, I can actually stand out. With this, as you can see, like I mentioned, you have all different kinds of colors. It's going to be very hard to stand out here. So when we think of professions and niching down, we want to think a little more outside of the box than what most people are thinking, which is this right here. And so I went over to Google and I typed in odd jobs and see what we could come up with. So I found this article, 30 odd jobs that pay insanely well, and then we're just going to scroll through here and see if we can get a spark of an idea for a profession that maybe not a lot of people are thinking about. So here's one that is for an embalmer, and I don't know if you know anything about the funeral industry. However, I've actually worked at funeral events in the past, and you would think it would be maybe one of the most boring, dry industries out there, but actually people in the funeral industry have a wicked sense of humor. They are so funny, right? And I think that it is something that you must have in order to work in that industry, because it can be very depressing otherwise. So to me, this would be a really cool one to design for, because you can tap into the humor that people that work in that industry have. Here's another one, private investigator. Maybe not something that everybody would think of to design shirts for. And now I just came back over here and typed in mortician shirt just to see what comes up. And I feel like with this, it would be fairly easy to stand out and do something different, because all of these are just looking very, very simple, black, dark, like people aren't really thinking outside of the box here at all. Okay, and I'm over on Sale Samurai, and this is a really cool, I just typed in mortician, and it says the Etsy competition is only 2,113, and it gets a search volume of 277. So this tells me that there's actually a lot of different products and keywords that I can tap into within this profession and probably crush it. And it's also important to note this also has a Google search volume of 74,000. So that will have an impact on your traffic as well. And if we scroll down to the keyword suggestions here, I see mortician tumbler, and it says that this is a low competition, has an Etsy search volume of 34, and an Etsy competition of only 53. So I would definitely consider doing a mortician tumbler, and just jot that down on my notepad. And we see lots of different suggestions over here for additional tag suggestions. So if we type in mortician tumbler, we can see that there's actually not that much of a competition here at all. Not at all. So I think that I could really jump in here and stand out and do something totally different than what other people are doing. I would also then go to the Chrome extension with Sale Samurai, make sure that that's downloaded, go over to Etsy, and then pull up the extra keyword suggestions using the Chrome extension and find all of the low competition, high search volume keywords related to this. And then do products based on those keywords that you find. Alright, so if we typed in the mortician with the Chrome extension, we can see the search volume here and the competition here, and let me tell you, there are so many great keywords in here. So we have mortician sticker, mortician gifts, mortician band shirt, mortician phone case, keychain, sweatshirt, tumbler. Oh my gosh, so many, and these are all low competition. So you could go through here for days and scroll and make different SEO blocks and just go in and dominate this profession with your print-on-demand products. And you can make design variations, product variations, SEO variations, and probably clean up with this keyword. So as you can see, one of my pet peeves is when people say that print on demand on Etsy is saturated. It's not, right? There's definitely niches that are mega competitive, and it's going to be hard for you to stand out, but there's so much space with keywords and professions and different niches like this where you can jump in as a new store and totally dominate. So if you can switch your brain from thinking, mainstream, what is everyone else doing, and niche down, go on Google and search for different ideas, then it's going to help you to find pockets on Etsy and gaps where you can fill the need for the market. So I hope this video has helped you understand where you can improve and the steps that you need to take in order to grow your store. So be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite takeaway was from today's video. I'm also going to link all of my best resources for you in the description box and link my full Etsy playlist here on YouTube so you can watch more videos and get some more helpful advice on how to grow your Etsy store. Make it an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.